I said, sure. So she played the last 5 laps, and I was going, oh my God. Did she post that? She goes, yeah, I posted it. And I'm like, oh God.
You hit octaves we never heard.
I got in the old Robert Hood. We call it the Robert Hood zone. He had the high pitched voice. He was a great announcer back in the 80s. I mean, truly a great announcer. I got up in that range. I could have ran with Mariah Carey that night. I got a little excited. You're trying to talk about it, and you're trying to get your air, and you're like, oh my God, it was awesome.
Well, it just shows your passion for what you do.
Well, and that was even with the street stock, same way. Yeah. I love seeing that stuff, and you're trying to keep that composure of now. You don't want to go to fan mode, because you're a fan of the game, but you're there to do a job. And sometimes when that starts happening, you're kind of like those two elements kind of combine themselves.
But that's why you make the track with your announcing, because you are one of the fans saying what the fans are thinking.
I just have,
so I have to
what?
say that, yeah.
I have fun doing it.
Yeah.
And I hope that people can hear that.
Yeah.
Because I think if they know I'm having fun, hopefully it
and your enthusiasm is what brings out their enthusiasm.
I hope so. But I'm just
listening. We were kind of shocked when we had the countdown at the trash car races, and people were listening. We're like, hey, people are listening to us.
Yeah. So in the interview, I wanted to talk about that. Pat Canfield, in his winning interview, says, I sat back there for 4, 5, 6 laps behind her, watching her, and he goes, and I know how she likes to run. She likes to pass on the high side. He says this. She likes to pass on the high side. They got to lap traffic. White flag was out. She's leading the last lap into turn 3, and he says, she did what I thought she was going to do. She entered the turn high to get by the lap car. He entered higher, threw it sideways, ran down the hill, got underneath her out of turn 4, and like I said, how that bumper sticks out the front of the sprint car?
Yeah.
The margin of victory, watching it, was probably half of that length. I mean, we're talking inches, guys. But the way he did it, he knew that she was going to enter that little higher than she had been, trying to get around that lap car to get to the outside, okay? And this is something that she might want to watch that video and can learn from. She entered a little higher than she had been, got the car turned. He was already up at the top of turn 3, threw it sideways, ran down the hill, got underneath her, just past the apex, and it was a drag race from there on out.
Yeah, that's cool.
And he led, I'm going to say he led probably the last 18 feet of that race.
That's all that counts.
Yeah. That was neat.
It was fantastic. Between the finishes in the street stocks and the finishes in those non-wing sprint cars Saturday night. I mean, incredible. Absolutely incredible. If we could have that every week, I don't know if my voice could handle it.
Well, you dang near do with the street stocks.
Well, I know, but if you have, multiple classes doing that, are you kidding me? Incredible. It just, what do you say?
Yeah.
I mean, that is what every racetrack promoter hopes for at their racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
And we get it. We get it quite often. We are very, very fortunate to have that at Willamette. My throat's still a little tore up.
What do you got going on?
It's coconut water.
Coconut
I thought
water.
it was box wine.
No, at this point, box wine would be a good idea.
I think it's box wine.
That is 100% pure coconut water. Justin Evans loves this
that's
stuff.
Right. He's getting into the Hawaii mode.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Just
what?
Before Hawaii, you guys start with the vitamin or the.
I drink
water.
this year round.
No, you don't.
I do.
have not seen you pack one of those around. Now, Evans, yeah, because it's blue.
No, listen. You come in here and hang out. You come in and hang out during the day. I go through this stuff like
crazy. I try
crazy.
not to. We fight enough as is.
Justin Evans. I have never seen anybody that likes this stuff as much as just. If you're a fan of Justin Evans and you really want to impress him, bring him a bottle of Vita Coco. He loves the Vita Coco brand. Bring it to the racetrack. It's great for hydration.
Does he like it chilled or warm?
He likes it cold. Okay. He loves Vita Coco. He likes it. It's good for electrolytes. He's a health-conscious guy.
Then why does he drink Coors Light after the race?
Because he's not health-conscious then. It's during the week. There's that couple hours after Saturday night race that he's not health-conscious. But he absolutely, Justin Evans loves Vita Coco.
Is that why he's getting bigger? I'm waiting for him to put you in a headlock.
He tried that once. Ask him how it ended up for him.
Probably about the same way it worked out for Rick Wyatt.
About pretty close. You saw that.
Yeah.
That was fun.
For you.
It was.
For them. Oh, my God.
That's fine.
I'm spry.
What's on the ticket? We got Fast Friday going this deal, or is it just IMCA deal?
No,
or?
it's ISCS sprint cars coming
Okay.
with several support classes. It's going to be a good time. I won't be there. But we
This
will be there
Friday?
Saturday night, won't we, boys?
Well, what's Saturday night?
Saturday night, we got a full show.
And? Are you going to tell us?
You've got it right there on your phone.
No, I don't.
My phone's dead.
Sam, this is your job.
No, it's your job. I told you my mental wherewithal is not that great.
Let's see what tomorrow is.
We got all kinds of stuff. Tomorrow's the ISCS sprint car race with, I think, the sport mods, possibly. I think I read that. I don't know. I've got so much going on business-wise. I haven't had a chance to really put my mind into race mode yet.
It's coming up on you. You better figure it out.
Yeah, I know. All too well, I know. What do you got there, Dom?
I'm trying to get it up here.
His phone's dead.
It's running really slow.
Oh, good Lord.
It's all those race car pictures he's got.
Yeah, Doc keeps putting cool ones up.
Well,
Doc.
and then he's taking pictures of the setup on under all. What
Yeah.
people don't realize is Dom's the quiet one in the group.
Yes.
So he sneaks up underneath your car, takes a picture, looks at your setup at home. So
Yes.
He does do that. He's
I don't have to. Those guys are so nice. They'll come set it up with me. That's what's great.
Just ask Justin Evans.
no,
Okay.
I will
I'm
not
trying
take
to get
any advice from Justin Evans or
Friday
Kevin.
night is the ISCS sprint cars with the IMCA stock cars, IMCA sport mods, and the IMCA modifieds. I don't know what kind of turnout the stock cars are going to have. Hopefully they get 6 or 7 of them.
So far we have 5.
Okay, about 5. Well, that's a good start. Trying to
Dom's hoping for some rough wrenching to
The-
make a third.
IMCA sport mods, you know how much we love that class. And then again, the modifieds will be there. And then Saturday night, Rick Barnes Memorial.
Look forward to this one.
This is
Well, not for the reason, but
right. Yeah, Rick was a guy we're going to miss a lot. He turned 3 for 21 years. Worked that corner that Jerry O'Hagan now runs. But I don't think you could have had anybody better than Jerry replace Rick. You know, with the personality that he carries and the friendships he's developed, and just a good guy, much like Rick was. I'll tell you one thing that all of us miss, just because it was Rick Barnes to the core that nobody else ever did or ever will do, was when track conditions got tough or the sprint cars were there and he put that Jason hockey mask on and you see him standing down there in turn 3 with a yellow flag. The first time I saw it, I said, what is he doing? You know, and then I'm thinking, okay,
He's
well,
being smart.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's Doc. Doc's taking a couple shots to the neighborhood, the boys, you know, to the lip. He's been taking some rocks to the face.
I'm still
Now,
trying
with
to get
Doc-
that RC car.
With Doc, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you know, he's much like a possum.
yeah.
You can hurt him and he doesn't know it.
Well, I've heard a small rumor that maybe, just maybe, that mask might make a trip out for this race. Maybe.
You know, if that thing hung up in turn 3 all night, be a great tribute. We've got, the article we released on Moxie Media about Rick Barnes, about this race. Extreme Fire and Rescue going to have the 50-50 that night. You know, Rick was a big supporter of Extreme Fire and Rescue. I learned that in my research writing this article. Every year, he donated $1,000 to that crew to, you know, make sure they had the right chemicals or whatever they needed to get the year started. When, you know, we're talking way back when Doug Van Zant was actually co-owner of Extreme Fire and Rescue back then with his then partner. They split ways. Doug got the company. Needed a truck for Extreme Fire and Rescue, and the first person to step up and help get the truck was Rick Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
Good guy that made his way up here from California and made his way out to the racetrack and said, man, this is it. And there's some humor in that article, in the quote from Evelyn Arnold. If you haven't read that article, especially the part about Evelyn Arnold when she talks about how Rick got involved, and Claire's quote about, hey, you know, that new corner flagger is doing a damn good job. Claire looks at Evelyn and says, whatever you're paying him, give him a raise. Evelyn looks at Claire and says, I thought you were paying him. Mm-hmm. He says, no. So they went to him and said, hey, how come you haven't said anything about being paid, or how come you haven't said anything to us about it? You know what his reply was? I wanted to make sure you guys were the kind of people I want to work for. 21 years he was there. 21 years. Pretty awesome deal. So we've got a nice little write-up we're going to read during his memorial lap and honor.
Are you going to read it live?
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I this is one that I struggle with because when you talk about somebody you call a friend, somebody you work with at the racetrack or you've been around, you know, whether it was in the pit area working on a car or even, you know, to the staff side in the announcer position, it's tough.
You just got to remember a lot of people that they look forward to it live for the slight fact that they feel your emotion. I know it's hard for you sometimes to get through it, but I'm just stating my opinion.
It's hard.
For what it's worth. A lot of people like that raw emotion.
It's a tough thing to do. I know that when we do it for Claire every year, that's the one that I struggle with most personally. Was, you know, as a man I knew my entire life. And I will tell you, Claire, and I think that's why Claire and Rick got along so well. They had values, they had morals, principles that were of the old school. They were honest men. And when I talk about those guys, that's what makes it hard because they were genuine people that you don't see a lot in today's new world. You just don't see it. You know, the guys that did their job because it was their job, they did it well, but didn't hold things personally. You know, there was times where guys were mad at Rick over something Rick had no control over. Rick would stand his ground. There's no doubt. But at the same time, he didn't say, you know, he didn't take this as a personal attack. He understands race car drivers are race car drivers. Mm-hmm. He understands the emotions. And there were times where he had to, you know, hold his ground and say, hey, listen up, fella. You're barking in the wrong place right now. Mm-hmm. And you got to appreciate that about guys. But, you know, again, a guy with a heart of gold out at camp. You know, he'd be the guy that show up at the camp if it was your birthday with the birthday present. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, he looked at the people at the track as an extension of his own family. Mm-hmm. And there were, you know, look at the Van Sant girls. They called him Papa Rick. You know, that's the relationships he had with people out there, whether they were rescue or racers. He had genuine friendships, family with a lot of us out there. And that's what makes it hard, you know. I don't know what your personal relationship with Rick was, but he was, you know, you read Justin Evans' quote in the article on Moxie Media and Promotions, and what Justin said was, you know, he's the last guy you saw when you went out to do battle and chaos broke loose, and he was the first guy you saw afterwards when he beat everybody to give you a thumbs up. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of... He was an important figure out there. He meant a lot to a lot of people. And we all miss him. Mm-hmm. Whether you liked him or didn't like him back then, you miss him. Mm-hmm. You know. It's what it is. And we're going to honor his memory Saturday night with the Rick Barnes Memorial. Modifieds will be the feature. It's going to be a good night. I like these races because of what they mean, but I don't like them because why we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a tough night.
It is. It is. But we'll get through it, and we'll put on one heck of a show like we always do, and it's all you can ask for, you know. It's all you can ask for, and I know that you'll be doing what you do best, Sam, the in-car video, and I don't know. Tom, what are you going to do?
I'm racing, man. I got a car for the weekend again.
I know.
Yeah, it's... these are one of the... I've been trying to keep the video footage stuff light for the year just because I've had so much stuff going on in my personal life that trying to save a lot of time for that.
Are you bragging?
No, I'm not bragging.
Okay. He is.
You seem to bring it up a lot.
He's bragging.
She does all the bragging.
No, if anybody in that deal can brag, it's him.
But I've been asked to mount some cameras in some other spots this weekend by a couple people.
Well,
so.
I've been asking for that, and I can't get it done, but other people ask, and they get it. This is where I have a problem right here. See,